What's going on, guys? My name is Travis or T-Dog, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to deathmatch today, basically. Um, my main goal with this video is to teach people how to actually use deathmatch in like a pro fashion and really like actually improve yourself playing deathmatch. If you know me or you've come in my stream before, you probably know that when people come in here and they say, "Hey, man, you're kind of good. Do you have any tips?" One of the things that I always tell people is to never deathmatch. A lot of people don't really know how to deathmatch. Deathmatch is kind of a thing where you turn off your in-game sound, turn on some music, and then you run around. So I think it's really worthless. Deathmatch in Valorant is also really poorly designed, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about how to optimize it. So obviously, there's 5 maps that you can get for Deathmatch. They're right here: Bind, Split, Haven, Ascent, Icebox. I'd say Icebox and Haven are the worst Deathmatch maps. Um, if I got those maps on Deathmatch, I would just leave and queue up another one because honestly, it's not even worth your time. But at the same time, it is because practicing angles, this and that. The reason I say that is mainly because of the spawns. The efficiency is just really, really, really bad on Haven and Icebox. You do a lot of running. Spawning at like C long, for example, on Haven or T spawn, CT spawn. There's like a lot of like really bad spawns that really like keep like the efficiency in the gunfights at a low. I'd say bind. I bind split, are probably your best. Ascent's not bad. Ascent's can have some bad spawns though, but bind and split are probably your best deathmatch maps for sure. So what not to do when deathmatching, and I'm going to explain this all in an actual deathmatch here coming up. You don't want to hunt players. You don't want to just like run along throughout the map, just like trying to go on a fucking killing spree like you're Michael Myers. Let's talk about bind, for example. Let's say I spawn on B site. I don't want to run from B site to CT spawn to A. That's a waste of time. When you spawn, if you're in a bad spot, like maybe like T spawn or something, try to go to a location that you would normally go to in a game, right? So again, on bind, let's say we spawn in T spawn outside of showers. Run to short A and practice your angles at short A. Practice holding U-haul. Practice looking at the flank and market. Practice the heaven peak, the triple peak, peeking showers, stuff like that. You want to practice your peaks and your crosshair placement because that's where deathmatch actually can hone your skills on mimicking in-game gunfights. You're never gonna you're never gonna be fighting someone in CT spawn or market more than 2 times a game, maybe if you're like a flanking cipher or something and you get like a couple gunfights in market. You want to practice where you'll actually be fighting people because once you memorize those angles and really get used to where to peek, how to peek it, and why to peek it, that's when you can actually become a better player. And that goes the same with running with your knife out. There's no point to deathmatch if you're just going to run around and b hop with your knife out, trying to get places quicker. Might as well just alt F4 and go in the range because you're just wasting your own time. Hiding and shifting around, like shift walking, is what I mean by this. You really don't want to do this because hiding and waiting for someone to run up to you so you can pre-fire them doesn't make you better at the game. It actually makes you a lot worse because once you can't play off those sound cues and you can't play off someone not clearing a corner, you're really going to struggle in a competitive environment. And crouching too. You want to crouch as little as possible, and the reason for that is because crouching just compresses your hitbox and you become an easier target to hit. Do you become smaller? Yes. But does that mean that you're harder to hit? No. It's a lot harder to hit kind of like a skinny head on a set of shoulders than it is to hit an entire torso and legs. So if you're bringing your head basically down to that level, you're going to get headshot more often, accidented, stuff like that. And then again, what to do in a death match. This is just like I said, these are just like little notes, just to go over. You want to stay in a general area of your spawn, and that's what I meant by hunting players. Where you spawn, just stay there, jiggle around, do your thing, right? Focus on crosshair placement. Keep it at that head level. Be able to control your spray or your recoil, and doing this in a death match. This is where you hone your skills and you can actually get better at that game. And again, don't have a mental breakdown if someone running headshots you, if someone jumping right clicks you, if you get buckied. It's a part of the game. Valorant isn't Counter Strike. It never will be. So if you're a type of person who, where you get running headshot or, something really just unlucky or unfortunate happens and you have a mental breakdown and then you go write a Twitter post about it, you know, you consider not doing that because it's probably better for your mental health. Um, but so I have Valorant open here. I'm not warm at all. I'm just gonna hop straight into a deathmatch here, and I'm just gonna try to show you guys an example of what I'm doing. I'm not gonna play out an entire deathmatch, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do anything ridiculous. We're just gonna be here. Perfect. Got bind. This is probably the best map to deathmatch on. Really good competitive map. Probably the best map of the game in my opinion. And deathmatching on it can, like I said, improve you. So, I'd always recommend buying a Vandal. I would always recommend buying a Vandal. I am a Phantom one-trick player. Like I will usually only have the Phantom in my hands when I play competitive or in tournaments, past tournaments when I was on when I was on a team. So like for this example, Heaven. This is a realistic scenario. I spawn Heaven. You're peeking shower, you're peeking triple, you're peeking pocket, you're peeking cubby. These head glitch angles by the truck. You want to act like you're in the game, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm on T side. I'm taking showers. Okay, I just get shot in the back of the head. But do you know what I mean? Am I starting to make sense by that? Try to put yourself in a scenario that's realistic. All right, I'm retaking A. Clear the angles that are on A. Clear the angles that are on A. Clear the shower peak. Clear the U-Haul angles. Keep your crosshair at head level. And you just want to you don't want to go far from where you are, right? So this is a bad spawn, for example, and so is the last one. But I'm in B long, I'm just gonna practice my angles in B long. I don't need to run into sight. I don't need to do anything special. I just need to act like I'm playing the game. Act like I'm in the middle of a round, and hone your clearing your angles, your headshots, because that's the difference maker. You know what I mean? This is the proper way to deathmatch. You don't want to be running around like this, just bloodthirsty, just trying to find anybody, looking for anything. Take a second, spawn. Like I said, this is another bad spawn, so this is where you would insert yourself. Okay, boom. I'm a defender. I'm on B site. I'm practicing my B site peaks. You're clearing hookah, for example. You're clearing long, dude. What are these spawns? These spawns are actually horrible. But this is what you should be doing in a deathmatch. Right here, just backside U-Haul, just take your fights here. You don't have to go any further than that. Try to don't try to keep your back covered, but try to not get shot in the side of the head. What? How's that not a kill? But this is kind of what I mean by that. For this, I'm just chilling here. Sure, there might not be anyone here right now, but you're just practicing, clearing your angles, keeping your crosshair on a head level, and that's all it comes down to. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Other than that, this is really just the proper way to deathmatch. You don't need to continue to run around sporadically. You don't need to do anything special. Just this is how you deathmatch. It's just you want to go, like I said, you want to get to a spot. Hookah, for example. Just practice your hookah angles. Just practice your hookah angles. Just practice your hookah angles. Elbow, back sight, CT spawn. Your flank. It's just that's how you want to deathmatch. If you keep running around, or you do this. Hold on, let me get a good spawn here. Let me get a good spot. Right, this is a great one. For example, if you just do this, you just sit here and hide. This doesn't make you better at the game. There's a difference of hiding and staying in a general area. Like you don't want to keep running around. This is a terrible spawn. These are the spawns that I'm talking about that happen more often on Haven and stuff like that. But like I said, this is really what you want to be doing. It's just, I spawn here. I'm just gonna stay short. My U-Haul peak, my sight peak. Maybe check my flank once in a while, see if anybody's coming from there. Maybe adventure into sight. Just keep practicing my angles, even if no one's here. Like, you getting these reps in will actually improve you as a player, rather than running into CT spawn and killing someone that isn't ready for you to be there. You know what I mean by that? Because that's the whole part about it. More reps, getting more reps of the map in will improve you in the game. You don't need to hit every single shot in deathmatch, all this other stuff. But when you spawn somewhere, stay in the general area and just practice the angles like you're in a game. Like that guy is not doing deathmatch properly. I don't think he's sitting in a corner. He's hiding. You know what I mean? It's like, like I said, you're not supposed to run across the fucking map, but like you want to move a little bit. You want to move a little bit into areas where it's like, it's a realistic fight. Right here, for example, trading my teammate if I'm on attack, running up short A. Hear one coming behind me. I always try to make noise so it's not a free kill. You know, I kind of want to like work for it. I want them to know that I'm there. And you know, like you want to try to make your gunfights as realistic as possible. You know, as they would be in game. You know, we're on B site. Clear your hookah. Clear your long. Clear your elbow. This guy might walk into my crosshair. You know, practice pre-fires and stuff like that. I'm gonna die here. I have 1 HP. But yeah, that is really how you deathmatch like a pro. You know, remember the tips that I said at the beginning of the video, and I hope this helps you guys out, getting better at the game of Valorant. You know, if you enjoyed or if it helped, make sure to check out my other videos. I'm gonna be doing some agent guides too. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm out of here. Deuces.